Joining me now is one of the top bantamweights in all of New England, number 2, I believe, according to Tapology, Kam Arnold, who's getting ready to fight for Cage Titans August 24th against Jeff Joy, looking to take another title. Kam, good to see you, my man. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me again.
Always a pleasure to talk to you. Now, you're used to fighting for NEF. You're 5-0. All 5 of your fights have been here in the state of Maine. Tell us a little bit about how this opportunity presented itself.
Actually, I'm glad you asked that question right off the bat because Cage Titans kind of put out this narrative that Jeff Joy called me out after his fight with Arthur and Pofu, which is complete crap. Before they even had their fight to begin with, I was eyeing that title. I was commenting on their posts, and I even said before they even fight, when they announced that fight, that I wanted the winner, no matter what. And they gave me that shot. So for this whole thing, for Jeff Joy calling me out, and he has big nuts for doing it, I called them out. I called the winner out. I'm the one making the power moves here in New England. So if anybody's going to be getting any exposure for that, it should be me. But it is what it is. I'm going to let them write their narrative. They got their story. They got to promote their hometown boy. It's just a shame that I got to go down there and crush their dreams. So
I appreciate you setting the record straight and letting everybody know what happened. I know Mike Polver is a great guy, and he's going to be excited to have you down there fighting for his promotion. I spoke to Matt Peterson actually earlier today, and he told me that he's got nothing but love for you, and he's going to support you regardless of what you do, even if it's not fighting for NEF. How does that make you feel to hear that, knowing that you have the owner of a promotion that's going to do what's best for you moving forward?
I really appreciate that because a lot of people in today's game, a lot of people have their own agendas, and it goes with the fighters too. A lot of fighters are I'm not going to say scared, but timid to dip their toes into other waters. For me, I'll be honest, I was kind of uncomfortable about it for a while, especially hearing, records of Maine fighters going out of state and all this crap. Oh, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. Well, that's how you remain in the regional circuit. You're not, as Matt Probin tells me all the time, he's like, dude, you got to get comfortable with the uncomfortable. As much as you don't want to be on the ground getting beaten up, you got to do it, and so that was my thing, is when I watched Jake Bagley go down, shout out my man, when I watched him go down to Cage Titans and smash up Valdina, I watched Zach Richard go out of state and test his abilities out of state. Granted, he came up a little bit short, but that kind of gave me the extra push, and gave me the extra to get myself to be like, okay, well, these guys are doing it. I know where I'm at talent-wise. I know I'm the best in New England at the amateur bantamweight ranks. So if I'm the best, I gotta go out and show it. I gotta go out and prove it. I still feel like there's some questions. From the first interview that me and you have had, I've been trying to prove people wrong since day one, and I'm still out there proving people wrong. I'm gonna be doing that August 24th, and I'm gonna continue doing that every single fight. So I love fighting. And for me to get out of NEF, and I'll always be back, you know what I mean? I plan on making my last amateur fight for NEF. Just kind of show my promotion, not promotion, but my appreciation for Matt Peterson, Nick DeSalvo, and everybody here at NEF, all the fans. They've shown me nothing but love the entire time. And without them, I would never be able to get the exposure or the platform that I have to be able to go out and fight for a dominant regional promotion like Cage Titans,
Well, let me ask you, you mentioned you're going to have your last amateur fight for NEF. When is that going to be? Is that going to be late 2019, or are you looking at 2020?
So our time, like, we have a timeline and a plan for everything over at Recon, which is great. I love the organization over there. We have a set plan, a strict schedule, and so barring injury, and obviously, we go one fight at a time, as always. But that doesn't stop us from setting goals, So with that being said, you know, we're going to fight here on August 24th. We're looking for another title fight a couple weeks after that. That's still in the works. However, that's not set in stone yet, but we're looking to fight for NEF to end out my amateur career right around November. So if all goes well, we'll probably be turning pro right around January, February. And this time next year, I'm looking to be 3-4-0 as a pro.
Wow, that's awesome to hear, man. That'd be a great way to start off your 2020, undefeated as an amateur, holding multiple belts and turning pro. I got to ask you, your last fight at NEF, another first-round finish, looked pretty convincing to me. I understand, though, Henry Clark, he had a little bit of a disagreement with the stoppage. Initially, he protested it just for a minute. Just tell me your thoughts on that. Do you think it was a good stoppage?
That was clean, man. I mean, in the moment, I'm not going to lie to you. In the moment, man, me as a fighter, you know, and I'm not talking for sport. I'm talking the legit fighter in me. I wanted to finish the fight. You know, if I could have, I would have done a Dan Hendo bomb like he did to Mike Bisping. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I want to do to every single opponent of mine. But I knew he was out. His head hit the mat, and when I got up on the cage, did my little thing, I got off when we first embraced each other, the first words he said was, "What just happened?" I thought I just slipped as he was rubbing his head. You know, right then and there, I knew it was a clean stoppage. Grant, we're teammates now over at Recon, and I talked to the coaches over there, and even Coach Darren Elder, my boxing coach, he's like, "Cam," he's like, "that was a clean stoppage." His head hit the mat, man. Like, literally, his forehead bounced off the mat. So, I mean, I could have gone in there and finished it for the fans, and for me, myself, I would have liked to have finished it with a few more punches and really put him to sleep. But, I mean, it's at the amateur ranks, and I can't fight the ref, and he did his job, and we got to protect our fighters, you know?
Yeah. No doubt about it. Now, you mentioned you guys are teammates now at Recon. When you guys spar and get after it, does he go a little harder, try to get that one back, or you guys just have that?
You know what? It's funny because we don't really train too much together because I train right in the morning with all the pros. I don't know how often he comes into the gym. Like I just seen him for the first time since we fought, I want to say a couple weeks ago in the gym. And, you know, we rolled around for a little bit, you know what I mean? But I didn't want to – it was our first time seeing each other and the first time working together after our fight. So, like, I didn't want to try to put too much competitiveness behind it, you know what I mean? So I was just like, we flowed, you know what I mean? And you definitely don't want to get although competition is great, you know, you don't want to get that sour stigma in the gym, especially where I'm a new teammate to everybody. You know, I want to be the best teammate for everyone at Recon and really represent that gym as much as they want to represent me.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Great answer, and nothing but class right there. I got to ask you too. I know you've been at this fight game for a while now, so your confidence is through the roof, especially being 5-0. I got to ask: were you more nervous to get married, stepping right up there on stage in front of all these fight fans at the Coliseum, or are you more nervous when you're going into a title fight?
Dude, you just made the hair stand up on my face. You know what? I felt great, and I always feel great right before a fight. But you know what? It was the same exact nerves. Like, I was behind the curtain, and as the music was playing, I was like, oh boy, here we go. And then I walked through the curtain, and it was just like a fight, man. And then we get in the cage, and we get married, and Karina, stop it, please. We go in the cage, and we get married. And it was still kind of nerves, you know, while we were getting our first dance and everything all together. So, but it was fun, man. It went really smooth and whatnot. And I'm happy we got it done, and I'm very grateful for Matt Peterson for having us be a part of it.
Congratulations! Very happy to see you get married, and it was a beautiful ceremony and something that the New England fight fans have never seen before. So you're doing something else that the fight fans haven't seen. So congrats again. I got to ask you a little off topic. We're both Celtics fans, or at least I believe still a Celtics fan. How happy are you to see Kyrie gone? And
Oh my God, man! I've been trying to kick him out the door before he even signed with the Celtics. I could not believe everybody was hopping on board with him from the beginning, and I'm sure everybody, when they see this, is gonna be like, "Of course he's saying that. Of course he's saying that." But I hate that guy. I hated him in Cleveland. I wish he stayed in Cleveland. We should have been giving Jaylen Brown a lot more looks. But you know what? Now that he's gone, we're finally able to have the team in a fresh start to build a new chemistry with a lot of new players and whatnot. So I'm really excited there. And I'm really excited to see the next step for Jason Tatum. So and the additions of Kemba Walker, man, this is going to be a very exciting year. A lot of people will be like, oh, Kemba Walker, he's not Kyrie Irving. You're right. The guy is not a jerk. He's gonna take responsibility for when he shoots 19 for 60 in the playoffs. You know what I mean? So he's not gonna pass the blame on to other players like Kyrie did. And you know what? This is gonna be I think you're gonna see another Kyrie as well. I'm not gonna totally trash the guy, because I think you're gonna see a way better Kyrie in Brooklyn, because he realizes this. I think he's gonna realize this is gonna be his last shot for being a part of a championship building team. You know what I mean? Especially with his attitude. It didn't work out in Cleveland. It didn't work out in Boston. If it doesn't work out in Brooklyn with KD, where else is it going to work?
Right.
Unless he goes back with LeBron. And that's not going to look good on him for all the trash he talked.
Well, listen, I agree with you. I'm happy to have Kemba. I think he's much more of a team player. Maybe sometime next season we can go and catch a game together down at the TD Garden.
Dude, that would be awesome, man. I've been to about 100 Bruins games. I've never been to a Celtics game, and I love it. That'd be killer, man.
Okay, let's put that on the calendar. That's what we're gonna do soon. All right.
Awesome.
Nice. Now let's talk a little bit about this camp. How's it been so far? The fight is closing in almost 3 weeks away now. So how you feeling?
Dude, I'm feeling great, man. Obviously, my last fight with Henry, I missed weight by a couple pounds. I was kind of in a bad spot mentally, with my weight. I was just kind of unhappy with a lot of things. I think my body really showed that. So I kind of made a lot of adjustments this camp, and my weight has never been better. I've been walking around in the 40s all camp, and I have not done that at all since high school. I haven't been walking in the 40s. Before Henry, I was walking around at 164, wow, which is really heavy for me. Usually I'm walking around at like $155, but like right now I'm 147. I've been ranging in between 145 and 150 at my fattest and fully hydrated. So I'm feeling great there, and everything that I've been doing at Recon, man, it's just like and I'm just saying this, like, I trained at CM for 2 years, man, and, great people over there, but I literally feel like a whole new fighter, I'm literally just scratching the surface. I'm working with Rob Font, Matt Probin, John Dupree, sometimes Calvin Cater, and the list goes on, and it's not just, it doesn't just stop with them. We have a bunch of killer amateur fighters and a bunch of killers that haven't even debuted yet, man. So the work I'm getting over at Recon is just outstanding. We've made a few adjustments with my boxing, kickboxing. Been working a lot on my wrestling again, because that's where I originally started, was from wrestling, and I kind of strayed away with that, with my bloodthirsty, brawling attitude. But I'm glad to get back to my roots, and I'm excited to showcase a lot more skill, and I've always had skill before, but like I haven't been able to showcase it. And a lot of fighters say that, I know that, but like my last fight with Henry, I felt like I was gonna be able to showcase a lot, but I know Henry comes in with a lot of intensity, and I know I had to make it my fight, because when he gets comfortable, he becomes dangerous. Right. And so when I went out against Henry, I had to bring the intensity, bring more intensity than him, and I showed that. And I made it a dog fight, so I wasn't able to show a whole lot of skill in that. I just had to show who's dog, and that was me. So over the next last couple of fights for my amateur career, I know they're going to be tough fights, but I'm going to do my best in staying calm, relaxed, and show the adjustments I've made from this camp over the next few months.
Nice, nice. I know Matt Probin very well, obviously, but who's Rob Font and Calvin Cater? I've never heard of them before.
There's some scrubs. You don't want to go with them. No,
yeah,
you know what, man? Rob Font beats the brakes off me at least twice a week, man. At least twice a week. He has me rethinking my career. So.
Well, hey, man, iron sharpens iron. When you're going with those guys, I mean, nothing other than you just getting better and better. That's all that's going to happen. So, keep, because that's a great place to be. You mentioned earlier about your weight being a lot better. Is this just a change in your diet, or have you just had to make a few tweaks there?
No, man. It was I want to say I had to be a lot more strict, because when I get into good habits, I'm in good habits. I have no issues at all. But when I'm in bad habits, it's hard to break, and so, I mean, me being unhappy, that had a lot to do with my weight, and I know that for a fact, and it was just numerous things, I really don't want to get too much into, but I made a big switch in joining to Recon, and that had a lot to do with my happiness, and I finally feel I am at a stage where I can jump into the next level and really prove my worth, not just in New England, but across the nation. So I don't know if I strayed away too far from your question or not.
No,
but
that's great. That's great. Happy to hear that things are better for you now. Let's talk a little bit about your next opponent, Jeff Joy. 3-0, but he only has one finish. He has 2 unanimous decision victories. What are your overall thoughts on him as an opponent, and do you feel like you're going to get another first-round finish here?
Jeff looks tough as nails, man. He's a grinder. You can tell he's from Mass, man. He's like that prototypical Mass kid, tough as fuck. Excuse my language, tough as nails. He's going to come out and prove his worth. He's definitely not no slouch. I know he's got a really good grappling game. He's a good wrestler. He's got good jiu-jitsu. And he's got a really good team behind him. He was working with Sean Lally, who's another killer. And the list goes on for him, So it's I think what it's really going to come down to is who's going to be putting in more work. I'm going to come out with my hand raised, and I'm going to knock this kid out. And I'm going to do it in the first round, and I'm going to do that every single fight until somebody stops me, and I feel like I could do that every fight, and I don't think there's going to be a lot of people in my division that can handle my power, my mentality, my pressure that I put on people, and the whole new arsenal of weapons I've added since joining Recon, and it's the little things I've added into my game, like, level changes and feints and a whole new bag of tricks that I haven't been able to open yet. So, but Jeff Joy, he's a tough kid, and hats off to him, but he's not number 1 in New England.
Well, I love that answer. I love your confidence, man, and I can't wait to see you step back in the cage. Anyone out there that wants to see Cam's next fight, make sure you get your ticket soon because it's right around the corner. One more question, Cam. Hypothetically speaking, let's just say you get this round 1 finish and you take no damage. Matt Peterson calls you up, tells you, hey, we got an opponent for you in Orono for NEF 40. You taking the fight?
That's a hard one. I mean, anything can happen. I mean, I could step outside my house right now and get into a fist fight, and I wouldn't be surprised. But I mean, it's gonna be tough, man. I'm never not open to a fight at any point in time, but I do have plans for September 7th. I got a special person from Lewiston debuting. He's won 3 tough man competitions. So he's going to be coming in and debuting. I'd really like to spend a lot of time focusing on him. And it's not going to be a career for him and anything like that. But like I said, he's won 3 tough man competitions. He's an old guy, but this guy can scrap. And so I want to focus on him and get that bucket list item scratched off for him, and I want to focus in on that. But we're trying to lock in for Cage Wars, but I don't know. I can't get into too many details there, but you know, our plan is to put Jeff Joy out, and we're gonna go to Cage Wars for September 13th. But it unfortunately didn't work out. Not on my side, not on my team. We're trying to push for the fight, but it didn't get locked in. So unfortunately for them, I don't think it's going to happen, but we're going to try and fight as soon as possible, man. Barring no injuries. I mean, if he has an opponent for me right at September 7th, who knows? I'm saying no right now, but who knows? I get antsy every time I don't fight for Matt Peterson and I show up to one of his weigh-ins or cards. Yeah. I'm praying somebody pulls out and I can jump in at their weight. So, but who knows, man? We'll see.
All right. Well, sounds good. Always a pleasure to talk to you, buddy. Before I let you go, anyone you want to thank or any sponsors you have, the floor is yours.
Yes, man. I got lists of them, man. So definitely, I want to give a shout out to everybody over at Recon MMA, Coach Eric, Coach Daring, Coach Probin, Coach Font, Coach Dupree, and all my teammates over at Recon. I want to give a special thanks to my sponsors, the Carlton Club, Crow's Nest Barbershop, Jim Cole Carpentry and Roofing, Mainline Plumbing and Heating, Green Alternatives LLC, The Shea, Paris up in Waterville, Maine, The Cage, who else? I feel I may be forgetting a couple people. Thad Aston and his burner service, wood pellet stove burner stove service, Cannabis Collectives, Sinsamilla, Maine, down here in Lewiston. Got the best bud around. And, yeah, I just want to thank all my family, friends, my wife, my mother, my father, for all supporting me and giving me this life.
Always a pleasure to talk, buddy. Go get that W, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you, brother. See you soon.